My name is Claire Snyder. I am a master's student in the Zoology department with the Center for Fisheries, Aquaculture, and Aquatic Sciences. I'm in Dr. Whitledge's lab. We do a lot of work assessing fish assemblages through a variety of mechanisms. My particular project is looking at native fish passage through a lock and dam structure outside of Chicago. I'm using a technique called microchemistry. So we take samples from fish fins and then release them back on site. And with those samples, we read into the structure and we're able to infer the fish's environmental history so we can determine what rivers a fish has been in throughout its life, and that will tell us whether or not it's passed upstream through this dam structure. This is a dam that's been proposed for modification to prevent invasive species movement, but a lot of the native fish species passage hasn't really been considered. So it's a kind of first look at what native fish are doing. A lot of the focus these days is on invasive species and what are they doing and how do we stop them. And oftentimes some of these native fish assemblages are overlooked. And so it's really important to check in on the native fish species as well and see if they might be impacted by some of these modifications at this dam structure. I am a second-year master's student of a 2-year program, so this is my second half of my project that I'm working on in this next school year. One of the awesome things about our lab is that it's very collaborative. So while I'm doing a project on microchemistry, there are other students in the lab doing acoustic telemetry or hydroacoustics. So there's a lot of different projects that we're working on, and we're able to help other students with their projects, and so we're able to learn from them. So while I'm getting expertise in one particular technique, I can also get a lot of this experience doing these other things and working with other members of my lab. This is part of our fish management class. So this is a class with graduate students and undergraduate students, and essentially the purpose of the class is to determine how fish populations are assessed, how they're managed, mostly focusing on inland rivers and lakes. This is a great opportunity to have Campus Lake right here. It's a resource where we can examine the fish population right here in our backyard, and so that's what we're doing. So we're checking up on the health of the fish. We're going out on the water with students who either have done some of this before or this is their first time and they're getting their first experience using some of these techniques to actually assess a question, which is how is the fish assemblage doing, and provide useful information for the future. I think it's really important to mentor undergrads and provide them with opportunities to have experience, to have hands-on experience, especially as an undergrad looking to get a job. It's really important to get experience, and having something where you say, yes, I have done this and I've been out in the field and I know what these fish are, really sets you apart from other people, and it can also help students determine what they want to do and if they want to be in this field permanently. So right now we're using a technique called electroshocking to sample the fish population. What that does is we've got these kind of two booms out here that are sending electrical current into the water, and that is passing through the fish and causing them to surface briefly, where it's easier for us to collect them and sample them. We take them from the water, keep them here on the boat for a little bit, and then we bring them on land where we're going to weigh them and measure them and then release them back into the lake. I am really exploring my options for what to do in the future. I really like the education and policy side of fisheries, but doing this kind of field work that I've been working on now in this lab science and field sampling is also really exciting. So I'd like to explore my opportunities and see if there are options out there where I can do a little bit of everything in that field.